Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss building our first Android application. So till now we have seen what is Android application, what are the different Android SDK tools we have, what is the architecture of Android, and installation also we have covered in the previous sessions. So once the installation is successful, we have to know how to build then an Android application. So myself Dr. Shirisha, Associate Professor from CSE Department, MLR Institute of Technology. To create a new Android project, first you have to open the application once your Android Studio is installed. So welcome to Android Studio window. You will get this window, and here we will start a new Android Studio project. So there are few things which is already, if you have developed an application, then you have to open an existing Android Studio project. So this is to open existing project. Otherwise, if you wanted to debug already existing APK file, then we'll go for the profile or debug APK. Otherwise, we'll go to open existing Android application. Or if you wanted to start a new application, if you wanted to develop a new design and a new application, then we'll go for the first option, start a new project. Then you can also do that with the going to files. Then you will get multiple windows. So you will have a window with different options like empty activity and empty view activity, like that. So here you will have empty view activity. Okay, so you have to select that empty view activity. So once you have selected, then you will have a next button here. So you have to click on the next button. Okay, so in the configure your project window, so we have to give our first name. So that I will show you while I'll show you the practical session. So my first app, you have to give anything. There's a user defined. So you have to give a user defined in the name field. Then packages will be already updated. When you give the name, your package name will be com.example. Whatever the name you give, that it will consider as a package name. So if you like to place your project in a different folder, then you have to change the location. Otherwise, you have to save in the same location. So you will have one more field. So once you have selected the empty view activity, then here you will have name 1, then package 1, then one more to select the language. So to select the language, you have here Java, and you will have a drop down box, and one more will be Kotlin. So either of these three, among these two, anyone can be selected. So we'll opt for Java for doing our Android Studio applications. And select the checkbox, use Android.x articrafts. Android.x is nothing but whatever the layouts or whatever the components you are using in the activity. So that should be prefixed with the Android.x.star, so that you can make sure here. And what are the other options you wanted to customize, you can customize. Otherwise, these are the major components that you have to change in that particular window. Then click on finish. Now, once you select and the name and application name, package name and all, then you will get this window where your first application is getting started. So this is where you are starting your application. So this is my first app. If you see on the title bar, whatever the name you are giving in the package, the name you could able to see here. And this is your my first application, which is saved under some path where you have saved the location. In that particular location, it will get saved. And this is where this panel shows you the complete anatomy of your Android Studio, where each anatomy has its own specification, its own requirement. Based on that, the user will make the changes. And this is where we use the editor. So this is nothing but the editor. Okay, and this is to build. So you will build here, you can debugger using the debugger. So these are the different panels you have, and here you'll have a device file explorer, where this is a file explorer for monitoring. Okay, so and this is about a complete picture of how your Android Studio application will look like once you select your application. Now, first, be sure that your project window is View Tools window into Project. And Android View is selected from the drop-down list of that window. So, when you see that, so under the apps, if you see here, under this app, you have many things, Manifest, Java and all. So, if you go to Java, you have com.example.myfirstapplication. So, this is what it is showing you, that your Java application is named with my first app. So that is what this app Java com.example my first app main activity. So this will open a main activity, the editor for writing your Java code, where it is a business logic for executing your application, for building your application. Then the system launches an instance of this activity, means that particular activity, main activity, will be loaded and it will build and run. And it load its layout. Layout is nothing but whatever the XML activity layout, whatever the XML part you are writing for the design part, that will be loaded. And you also have under the app, you also have RES. So let me show you. So here if you see, we have RES. RES here is nothing but the resource. So resources, there are multiple resources like drawable, layout, map values, where these resources are used for customizing your layout. So under the layout, you will have activity underscore main.xml. So there are two different editors. One is activity underscore main, the other one is the main activity.java. So these two are the editors, one for the XML part and one for the Java part. And these two you can customize, one by using the Java, other by using the resources. Under the resources, you will find this activity main.xml. Under Java, you will have your main activity of your my first app. So this XML defines the layout for the activity user interface, whatever the user interface that you require, means whether you want a button, whether you want a text box to display something, or whether the user has to enter by giving some text. So that can be possible here. So it contains a text view element with the text hello world. So text view is the component where it displays the text. Okay. So here Android X is prefixed with this attributes of your text view. Attributes like what is the text that you need to display. So under the text view, we are going to give Android :text. Okay, Android :text is equals to, we will be giving what? Hello world. So here this Android :text will be the attribute of your text view. Like we also give what is a layout width, layout height, or text view. For this also we will give layout width, layout height. So all that will be discussed just slowly. Then we also have app manifest file. So manifest file describes the fundamental characteristics of the application. So whatever the components you are using, if you wanted to customize more, then you can go for the manifest file and do the necessary changes. So what sort of changes you can do? Suppose if you wanted to keep an icon for launching your application. So what is that icon? That icon can be placed in the drawable folder, and so path can be given in your manifest file, Android manifest. So this manifest file, if you see this code, here you will be having manifest folder. Under this manifest folder, if you click on the manifest file, again in one more editor, that manifest file will get open. So where you can do the necessary changes. That is about the manifest file, and it defines each of its component. What are the components, whatever the components that you are going to give in the activity.xml. So that components can be customized and the characteristics may be changed using this manifest file. Gradle script and build.gradle. So this is again, if you see here, we have Gradle script and Gradle script where it builds everything. Means you have a XML part, you have Java part, you also have manifest file, the third one. So all these three should be binded together and it has to run your application. So which will be taken care by this Gradle script. So there are two files with this name, one of the project my first app, one for app module, module colon app. So each module has its own build.gradle file. Build.gradle file is very important to build your file, whether it may be an application module or your complete application my first app module. So currently we are having only my first app. So it uses a build.file to control how the Gradle plugins build your application. So when you are trying to build and run your application, there has to be something which binds everything, where it loads all the libraries and the packages so that it will display the content properly, efficiently. So we'll build. For doing that, we use different plugins for the Gradle. So internally, the system will take care of building all the necessary plugins and necessary libraries and packages or dependencies based upon this Gradle script, which is there in your anatomy of your Android application. So let us see how to run and build the Android application. So just go to Start and just go to Android Studio. Just double click on the Android Studio. So you will get whatever the version you are installing, so you'll get that. It will open, it will load the projects. So once you load your projects here, it will prepare the workspaces. So this is the small window which is showing you what is being loaded. And here towards right bottom of the screen, you can see the scanning of files is possible. Okay, so this is where your Android application is loaded. Now if you see here, you can go to Files, New and New Project. If you select this, you will get this empty activity here. You have to select what is the device, where phone or tablet, where OS or something like this. So we'll go with the phone, connecting to the phone. And there will be no activity, empty activity, basics, view activity, bottom navigation, view activity. Like this, by default, you will have few templates. So what we do is, we will go to empty views activity, click on next. Then you will get this particular window where you can give the name of the application. So we can give here my first app. So if you were giving my first app here, you could see that your package name is getting uploaded, changed to my first app. And save the location. If you wanted to change, you can browse and change accordingly and give that path. And you have a language where two different options are given, Java or Kotlin. So you can go with the Java. Minimum SDK. So you have different API files here. So select one particular file where it supports maximum percentage of devices. Suppose if you could see 93.9% devices it is supporting. So it is API 26, and whatever you have to remember this API level Android 8.0, where it is supporting 95.4% of devices. Just click on finish. So when you click on finish, you will get a window which is loading your file. So this is the previous one. I'm just closing it. This is our new one, which is my first application. So your Gradle build here, it is going to build. So your Gradle build is building your packages, dependencies and libraries, whatever that are required here. So it is loading your anatomy of complete project, whatever app we have seen, manifest file, Java, resources, all Gradle script. So all these 5 you are able to see here once they are loaded. So let it load, then you could able to see, yes, it is loaded. Okay. Then you have one is activity.main. So here you have towards the right side, you have code, split and design. If you wanted to, now it is in design part, so you could able to see only the design. If you split it, you can able to see the code as well as the design part. If you wanted to see only code, just go with the code and see this. So here you have to keep the coding. So this is a program where we are using the constraint layout and this XMLNS. Your XML part should start with XML prologue statement. This is the prologue statement. And if you could see here, we are giving Android X constraint layout. In this constraint layout, what are the namespaces that are defined can be given using the prefix Android. So XMLNS is a namespace where colon Android is a prefix we are going to use here. So this is where that is defined, your Android is defined. XML we are also giving for apps and tools, so by default you will get this. Then go to layout width and layout height. These two we are giving match parent, because if you wanted to run your application, you will be using a emulator. So app emulator. Emulator is a virtual device which is used for loading your application. So when you load this main activity context, so this program will send this text view with the following parameters. So Android colon text is displaying the hello world, and layout width and layout height we are giving it as wrap content. Wrap content is where it takes only the particular area of wherever the text is, and match parent will take the complete layout. So if you wanted to run this and you have a activity.java, this is a package we have already taken. There's a package, and within that package it will directly build a basic code, because we have taken empty views activity. So this is for only viewpoint, and Android it checks the compatibility, where it imports the packages of app compact activity, and it under this app compact activity we are trying to build our my first app. So Android OS bundle, where it binds your XML and Java together, so we are importing os.bundle. And your main activity is a class name of your Java program which extends app compact activity, where we have imported the app compact activity here. So this will just create, it will take the help of the bundle where it binds everything, and from time to time it will save the instances. So it will save the instances, and super.onCreate on top of this bundle saved instances, it will just save the instance states also. Then set content view is a method where it is trying to display something. What it is displaying? R.layout. R is a resource, and layout, under layout if you could see here we have activity underscore main.xml. This activity underscore main we are trying to give it here. So r.layout.activity underscore main. So this is what it takes the complete Java, and it extracts the components of text view along with these properties, and it extracts here, it will bind and it will run here. So here there is a application tool, and this is a emulator with some devices which are installed for virtual device to run your program. So just if you select one and click on run, it will show you a new window with the running devices. So here in the running devices, it is trying to build your Gradle script. So once this is built, you will get the output with the hello world. And here whatever the instances that we have used, API levels that we have used, 26. So here see that the API level will match the particular levels. So if you are using API level 26, see that you are using here API 26 for emulator also, then you will not get any warnings. So this is the output for the first program, where we have given a text view. So this is a text view with the text hello world. The same can be done using the different layouts. Okay, so this is where we are using a linear layout. Linear layout will take the text or whatever the components you are displaying in a sequential manner. So this linear layout will take a layout height and layout width as a match parent. Then once these two are defined, you have to give Android XML-NS for app and tools, and we have given some orientation which is vertical here. Okay, so once this is given, again we have given the text view with the text and alignment at the center. So we have customized with the linear layout, and this attributes whatever we are using, everything should be given with the prefix Android to avoid this namespace. So we have defined the Android XML-NS colon Android. So here Android is acting as a prefix. We are giving the prefix for every property. It is defined. with the values. So now if you're going to run this, and Java part will be the same. And here if you wanted to select the different devices, so go to the device manager and create device. Here phone, under phone take something with a different height and different width. And here you have different API levels. Here currently we have 34 and I have selected 33. So I am trying to download this. So you can download whatever the versions of API levels you need for a emulator also. So it will just download and build all the required libraries here. So once this is installed, it will directly install here. So once this is installed, you have to click on finish. And before this, so let us see an overview of these things. This is the anatomy which we have discussed in app. So under app you have manifest file. Manifest file is used for binding your XML and Java and customize different options or different components of your files. And Java will have a main activity, and this main activity is required for loading your program and applying all the business logic that you have given. And resources, under the resources you will have different things. Under the resources you will have map, values, layout, and also drawable folder. Where layout we already have seen activity underscore main.xml and under these resources. And layout will have activity underscore main. Then your drawable folder is used to load some particular images. Whatever the images you wanted to load, that should be copied and pasted into your drawable folder, and that can be customized into your manifest file. Either it may be a launcher or any image. Then Gradle script will be used every time when you wanted to build and when you wanted to bind everything together. Everything here in the sense XML and also Java. So 77-80% of installation is getting completed. So once this is installed, then only this API level of 33 can be used, because when I have loaded this Hello 12 application, I have taken an API 33. So that API 33 should match with the emulator API level also. Then only you can build and run your program. So 98% it is completed. So it will, what packages to install? Google APIs, all the required packages that will be installed here. And it will prepare install Google APIs using Intel. And downloading, it is downloading from so and so zip file from the repository of your Android. So if you go to studio.android.com, you will have a complete documentation, complete repository of your Android Studio. From there you can access everything. Even every syntaxes and every code is, every classes and interfaces are also defined in the same repository, so that it may be used by every user for reference. So here you have to wait until the requested actions are completed, because you have installed the zip file. From there it is unzipping and it is extracting all the contents of your particular API 33. Once it is downloaded, we have to click on next. Yes, it is done. Just click on finish. Now click on next. So this is API 33. This is the different things you can select. We have both here. Then click on finish. Now if you see here, we have 33 also. Just select this 33 level and you can run. So if you could see here, your AVD is getting started. So this is where it is showing you the AVD of a particular application. This is the AVD. So it is still loading. You could see a small line which is loading here. So this shows you your AVD is still loading. So once this is loaded, you could able to see the output. So this is the Java part where we have discussed. So what are the text view you have given in the XML part? Only one component we have defined. This one component of text view can be accessed to your Java using set content view method. The set content view method is used to extract the complete layout of activity underscore main. R is acting as an object for extracting the resources. As we have under the resources layout, we have activity underscore main. We are trying to give this. Okay. So just to select whatever it is required, and if you run your application, you could able to see the output in the emulator, and so that this is a process of executing your Android application. Thank you all.